What to wear? Now, one of the things that men are not so much aware of as women, there's a shop called Primark where you can buy a dress for £5, wear it once and throw it away. Believe it or not, people do that. They may not do it after this latest crisis, but for the last 20 years, the consumption of clothes and the changing fashion has driven the sales of clothes enormously. As against, in my time, it was an expensive dress you wore. Now, it's how often can you change it? How often can you show that a new one today, a new one tomorrow? But there are actually people who on the internet will buy a rack of clothes and then send them all back after having worn them all once and say they didn't fit or there's something wrong. There's a game that they play. And actually, the internet is used to between 35 to 55% returns. And they still make money. It sounds like we're in the wrong world. How can you survive on a 55% return? Now, I played a little bit on the internet 30 years ago. I found it was so expensive to get things back. I used to say, keep it, don't bother. The cost of getting something back, repacking or trying to sell it or make something of it wasn't worth it. What I'd like to say is, what do you wear? Does anyone really think of the real impression they give by the clothes they wear? Or do they kid themselves that they are looking great? I don't know whether they understand. It depends on the age and the attitude. What you adopt as the main garments you decide to wear. When I started in the city, I had a three-piece suit, which is really all I had in the world, besides a rather dodgy jacket and trousers. And after my first year working for a chartered accountant, I thought it'd be a good idea to have it cleaned professionally, the suit I mean. And so I went into the office wearing my jacket and shirt and trousers and got sent home. We would prefer you to turn up appropriately addressed, I thought. Well, on £2 a week, it was really pushing it. But then most people regarded working in the city as a young person, as something you had to pay for rather than you got paid. I was in Peter Jones, which is part of the Lewis, whatever, in Chelsea about 2 weeks ago, leaning against the counter, waiting for whatever, and watching people go by. And I suddenly saw, without any pretension, without any attitude, something so classy walk by, I just could not believe. He must have been about 50, but his nice hat and the shirt and the jacket and the trousers and the socks and the shoes, they all had that wonderful matching, not all the same colour, but they all matched beautifully. And suddenly you recognised somebody with taste. Somebody had impressed me enough. But you know, we don't know. What we wear is not really for us to see. It's for other people. And we don't actually look about how do people view what we're wearing. We are now wearing clothes, and we're wearing things that make us happy. And yet we don't realise it's how other people will view us, what they're wearing. And is that really the way you want people to view you? You know, in my day it was everybody had to have a suit. Now, few people have suits. They have a jacket. Smart, very smart. I mean, jackets costing £3,000 and £4,000 are on pegs in shops. And trousers, the cloth, the material. And the shirts. Unfortunately, it's not such a good idea any longer to be in ties. Tie manufacturing must have just really gone down, except when you see the cost. You know, all right, in my day, £1 was a lot for a tie. They're £100 ties. Actually, nothing about them actually thrills me to think they're worth £100, but yes, there's a rack of them. So what I'm saying is, whatever you're wearing, what is the justification for those things that you're wearing? Is it yourself looking in the mirror saying, this makes you look good, but who are you making it look good to? If you're young enough to want to, as we say, pull, is that the sort of thing that somebody of your age, of the other sex, whichever sex you're talking about, will enjoy looking at? Or do you want to kind of limit the sort of people out there who might find you in any way attractive? And I love this other thing that's happening nowadays, this decision to shave or not to shave, so that everybody goes around looking grunge and everybody thinks that's the way to look. It may be attractive for the sort of girl you're looking for, but it doesn't make it as if you're smart and you're in the groove, unless, for one reason or another, you fit an image of that sort of film star. And of course, for the girls, sometimes I think it's the perfume they wear. Screaming to high heaven of something or another is going to be a major attraction. Sometimes I think it's a major distraction, and the further away you can get, the better. And have you seen the new briefcases? I want you to think about this. I was in the tube about 6 months ago, and I'm looking, and this kind of belt and briefcase, and I thought, that looks good. It's the sort of thing that attracted my attention. On purpose, I went up close and I saw the name. Can't remember it now. When I got home, I looked it up on the net. That silly kind of shoulder thing the man was wearing was £800. I practically passed out with the shock. I mean, going around something like that. They sell, not just girls buy bags expensively, but men can as well. So when you think of the limitation of what's available out there, also think in terms of what you're expressing about yourself to other people. And it's sometimes a very good idea to have a look again before you go out and think about not are you actually showing in the mirror to other people about yourself. What to wear has to be a major decision. And I recommend you have another look as to justifying what you are wearing even now. Thank you.